Next, we're going to cover savings. I'm sure you all know, but when you're starting a startup, it's very important to be as lean as possible. It's very rare that you'll have extra cash to be wasting on things that you could have saved money on. So what we do here at Swoop, using our open banking software, we're able to tell people where they can make savings. And these are just some of the examples where you can make savings. So switching business insurance, we might be able to tell you that if you use a different insurance provider, that you'd be able to save on average, these are average numbers, by the way, £435, which may not seem like a lot, but I'm sure it makes a big difference. Also, things like switching your utilities bills, your electricity or your gas, something like that, you could save on average £1,000 as well. So some of the other things which may not be as obvious, but with your banking relating savings. So one thing that we say, you should know what function you're using a banking software for or a bank for. Don't ever use NatWest, Barclays, Lloyds for FX. Use TransferWise or MoneyCorp. Metro Bank is great for payroll because they have good deposit accounts. Revolut for transactions because you pay no fees. We use all of that. We use Metro Bank for payroll. We use Revolut for our transaction fees, but we also we bank with a more traditional bank with NatWest because we do our testing because our business, we're a fintech and we actually have to test with some of these big banks. But also it can be good to work with these bigger banks in the long run because something like coronavirus happens and C-bills or bounce back loans specifically, to get access to them, it ended up that you need to be with some of the bigger banks to get that. Even though some of the smaller banks did it, but they actually stopped doing it after they had too much interest in it. So I'm not saying don't bank with the traditional guys, but try and use all different sorts of banks and all the startup banks if they offer a service that is really good, because you need to save as much as possible on these different things. So there is a lot of money to be saved there. I mentioned FX fees. Another thing that I would mention just about savings is make sure that you're not signing up to freemium apps. So getting the first month free and then forgetting about them, because once it's a month and a day, it's too late and you've already paid that amount. So just be careful. Even when you're signing up to things like Slack, or we use a really great product tool called Miro, but as soon as we went over that month, we had all of these different developers using it, and they charge us £350 a month. And even though it's a great product, we just couldn't have that many licenses on it. So be really careful that when you're signing up to them, and keep a note of them somewhere, because it's really important, and you need to make it keep cost as low as possible. Yeah.